Hello everyone. My name is Mehak and I am thrilled to be a part of such an inspiring platform, Cyber Resource Network (CRN). And CRN is a remarkable initiative designed to connect students, graduates, and professionals from cybersecurity across Canada. It fosters collaboration, skill development, and building strong professional connections and enhance students and graduate skills and to build a strong network where we can contribute to build a safer digital world. So today we are privileged to have Eileen Aday, a senior project manager at ThoughtStorm, who has pursued diploma in project management from Sioux College. She has had an incredible career journey, which I think, and which I am sure that will be, her insights will be invaluable for students, graduates, and other people who are striving to succeed in this Canadian job market. So before we begin our interview, I would invite all my fellow team members to introduce themselves. So please go ahead one by one, everyone.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Pooja, and I am truly excited to be a part of the CRN group, as Mehak told everything about CRN group.
Thank you, Pooja. Vishwu.
Hi, Ellen. So it's my pleasure to meet you. So I am cybersecurity graduated student from the Sioux College, and I'm right now actively involved to connect the students with the professionals like you, being an active member in the CRN. So I'm looking forward to learn more about your journey, which would be so fruitful for us for our for the endeavor here. Thank you for joining with us.
Sulma.
Hello, Eileen. I'm Sulma Rahman. I'm soon to be start my internship, and I'm very excited to be a part of CRN team. And of course, today I'm very much interested to know more about your journey.
Sapna, go ahead, please. Thank you, Sulma.
Hi everyone, my name is Sapna. So I'm really thankful today that we all have gathered here and we will discuss about how Eileen can inspire us, how we can advise more students and more people how they can be successful like Eileen. So I'm really very excited to hear about Eileen's journey. So really excited to be a part of this CRN group.
Thank you, Sapna. Go ahead for us.
Hello, Eileen. Thank you very much for joining us here. I'm also part of the core team CRN. Looking forward to listening to your insights and see how we are able to get the best. Thank you very much again for speaking to us.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Faraz. Thank you, everyone, for your introduction. So let's get started with the interview. Eileen, we all are very excited to have you today with us. And Pooja and I will be asking you a couple of questions to learn from your incredible journey.
Sure.
So to start with, Eileen, can you, am I pronouncing your name correct?
Eileen, yeah.
Eileen.
Eileen, yeah.
Eileen, sorry, Eileen.
No worries.
And I want to ask, can you tell us more about yourself and how you went from studying from Sioux College to being a senior project manager at ThoughtStorm?
Okay. Hi, so again, good evening, everyone. I know you've heard some of my background, but to give you an overview, so I was really a project manager back home. Okay, I'm from the Philippines. In 2022, I started my journey in Sioux College. Okay, so just a brief background, I was already a senior project manager back home, working in banks for past 11 years. So I've been through the journey of taking projects like I cannot count anymore how many projects I had way back home, but I never had a formal education in project management. So in 2021, I started dreaming of, okay, let me get a project management career, profession, I mean, formally education, right? And I choose to go to here in Canada, right? So I've heard there's an opportunity here that if you go started as a student, then you can, grow your career in Canada. But my intention was just, I just wanted to study outside of the country, right? So I chose Sioux College. I got in 2022. I started my project management course. Okay, so being a PM or project manager for the past 11 years and having a high position as a foreigner here in Canada, you have to start from scratch, right? So you have to learn, you have to study. How do you land into the same job as you have? But again, you're a starter, so you take all opportunities that will come to you. Okay, so I started while I'm studying. I took part-time job in Tim Hortons. Okay, but as I was doing my study and Tim Hortons, I'm continuously researching on how will I land with a project management career in Canada. Okay, I don't want to work in Tim Hortons for all throughout my years, right? Though honestly, I enjoy working in Tim Hortons, but that gives me an opportunity to, okay, let me pursue my dream. Okay, so I grabbed that opportunity, but still my dream stands. So I studied how will I be recognized by employers, right? So to cut the story short, I get my project management certification in April 2022. So I think that was a week or 2 weeks before my final exam on my first term in the project management in Sioux College. I passed. It's an online exam. I passed the certification. After 2 weeks of posting it in LinkedIn, I got a call or a message from my current boss. After 1 week, I got the offer. Okay, I said I need 2 weeks to resign from my current work, which is Tim Hortons, and my boss told me if you could resign in 1 week, I'll be glad. So I got the job after 1 week. So less than a month from my certification, I landed into this job with ThoughtStorm, and the rest is history, right? So it was an exciting one. Okay, maybe a lot of prayers, I can say, and it was very, I did not even research what this company is. As I said, you just grab all opportunities that come to you, right? Regardless whether it's a high paying job or a small paying job. The point is you have to get experience. As you all know, every company or some interviews will always ask you, what's your Canadian experience? Right? So my first Canadian experience was Tim Hortons, and second is ThoughtStorm, and until now I'm with ThoughtStorm.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really amazing. And
Yeah.
and did anyone during your time at college, did anyone like instructor or mentor has played their role in helping you securing this job?
Not directly, but I can say yes, in a sense, like pursuing PMP exam, I got inspired with my current professor back then. So it's Sir Ali. So he was telling during the class, this is how he got the certification. He studied for so and so hours per day, per week, etc. And then he gets successful. So I was really inspired on that story. And I did study hard. As I mentioned, I was just like 4 months when I landed here in Canada, and I was able to study within that, I can say 2.5 months or 3 months to get the certification, grab it immediately, and just pray and hope that you pass the exam, right? So I can say not directly, but yes. Okay, one is the inspiration that the professor gave me. Second is also the topics that we have in Sioux College for project management are directly the same topic that are given or are scope of the PMP exam. So it's not a new study for me. I was studying my lesson and at the same time studying for the PMP exam. I was even ahead because I was just on my first term, but I have to study the whole book, right? And the materials used in the Sioux College is the same materials that is really recommended for PMP certification. So this is really a help from the college that I got this mentor, this instructor, and I even used him as my character reference in my resume. So if I'm not mistaken, my current boss called him to ask some background. So I can say he was really of great help in me landing into this profession in this company.
That's great,
Yeah.
really great. And how did you learn about the role at the ThoughtStorm? Was it through networking or any job portal or through any recommendation?
Yeah, actually, I did not apply in ThoughtStorm. As I mentioned, I don't know the company. But what I did was I made myself visible in LinkedIn. Okay.
Mhm.
As I mentioned, I'm a project manager for 11 years back home, but I never had an account in LinkedIn. It was only when I landed here in Canada that I learned LinkedIn, Monsters, all Job Bank, all those job portals,
Right.
that I became so active, okay, and learn the tricks of the having an account there. I get to study what should be written in the resume, how the resume format should be, and all those. And even those, I get help from the professor. They guide me, they guide us during the class itself. What should be the format of your resume? What is the Canadian resume format, right? And having that skills that I have way back in the Philippines at some point, it may not be relevant when you come to another country, right? So it's really something that you have to study, you have to learn. Okay, so if you are like don't have any experience yet, for example, this is your first time in your cybersecurity, right? You don't have any experience yet. You cannot boast that in your interview, right? The more is you have to learn what are they really looking for. What is it that you have that you can offer to them, right? So yeah, that's the main thing that helped me from having the instructor from the college.
Thank you, Eileen, for sharing the wonderful advice. And I would ask Pooja to continue with the interview.
Okay. So thank you so much, Mehak. So Ellen, my first question for you, like what do you think made you stand out during the hiring process? Like was it your skills or you did any certification, like you told you did PMP or any other certification, or maybe like a project that you worked on during your studies?
Everything that you mentioned, all those were asked during the interview. And I believe all those really, I nailed this, not
Yeah.
to boast, right? But I think like my profession, having, as I mentioned, 11 years of experience in project management, that's one. Okay. There are scenarios, specific scenarios asked during the interview that I was able to give my honest experience, whether it's a good or bad experience. Okay, taking advantage of my skills, that's a big factor that I got that time. Second is a certification, which I just recently, as I mentioned, recently got from here in Canada. It's from the PMI. Okay, so it's a valid certification, a most honored certification, right? And third is the people skills. It's not just the skills that you have on the technical side, but how you sell yourself. So you're aside from being a project manager, you're also a salesperson. You learn how to sell yourself to the interviewee, right? And I remember one question asked that time, since I was still a student, and as a student here in Canada, you can only work 20 hours a week. Okay, so the CEO of the company asked me, you're only allowed 20 hours a week. How can you commit as a project manager to deliver what is expected from you? And my answer to him is simple. Being a project management, being a project manager doesn't require an 8 hours job. It's actually a 24/7 profession, regardless whether it's Monday or Sunday. If there's something that you need to deliver, you have to do whatever it takes. Cybersecurity, for example, right? When a threat comes in, regardless whether you're sleeping, you have to wake up. Okay, and if you're committed, you have to solve that. Regardless, you don't ask for overtime pay. You don't, the commitment was there. So I believe what was like my selling points, or what in struck my boss, was that answer, like, you don't really work 24/7. You don't really work 8 hours as a project manager a day, right? It's the point there is you deliver what is expected from you. You do no matter what it takes to make sure that you deliver all the projects on time, right? And I think being honest and sincere in all your answers can be felt by the interviewer. Right now there's ChatGPT. You can always ask ChatGPT what should be the answer to the questions, right? But the sincerity is not there. So if you could share and talk to the people, that's why I mentioned also one is a people skill. If you know how to sell yourself, if you know how to communicate to the other side, then it's gonna be easy to, land into the job. I mean, I've interviewed a lot of people also. And I can say from the start whether they're sincere or not in what they're telling. I can say from the start whether they're honest in their experience or not. You can always say, I had experience on this, but I can tell you I'm only a novice on it. I only have worked for it like two weeks, 1 month, 2 months, right? But at least, you're trying to sell yourself as an honest person, and you're always committed to make sure that you deliver what is expected from you. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that's great. So, Ellen, like, what advice would you like to give to new graduates, like who are trying to land their first job in their field? And especially, I really curious to know, like, those who might not have any prior experience in their field.
Exactly. So yeah, I do understand for those who have past experience, there's an advantage already, but that doesn't stop you, right, from taking your first step. I've mentioned earlier, it's very important that you know what is the required skill for that profession. That's the first thing, right? Aside from the skills, what are the certifications needed? If there is at least at the minimum, right? If you feel like you cannot start, like for me, for project management, right? You cannot be a project manager directly, then you can start as a project coordinator or a project analyst for the start. So you have to learn the profession itself. What are the stages in each profession? So if you're not experienced, okay, what is the first level? I can say level 0 before you go to level 1, level 2, level 3. But you have to make your own roadmap, as they say, right? If you want to be a project manager but you do not have experience, start with level 0, which is project coordinator. And as a project coordinator, you can also take the certification for project management. They call it Certified Associate for Project Management, or the CAPM. Okay, so those skills, those certifications is a great factor for you to be recognized in the job portals. You have to make sure that you are on the right path. Okay, if you're not aware, join whatever organizations or group we have, online groups, or even of course maximize your college, right? Maximize your professors. Ask them what are the other possible portals or pathway that you can take for you to land to this job. But the most important part is you know where to go. If you cannot achieve that in the first 2 years, maybe you can have that in the next 5 years. But you have to make your own timeline. You have to make sure that, okay, I'm already on my second year, I have to be on this stage, but I'm not yet there. So what is it that I'm missing? If you have to gain more certifications, do it, not just specific to your skills, right? you can, as I mentioned earlier, people skills, right? So take some, e-learnings, lessons, or talk to the professors, talk to the professionals, learn how they talk, learn how they present themselves, just a random chat. I mean, this is something that you cannot learn inside the college, right? But outside, when you're chatting with your professors, with your classmates, right? Or with some other office employees, right? You know how professionalism comes in, okay? And whether it's a white collar job, a blue collar job, as they're saying, professionalism is always there. Okay, so integrity, professionalism, honesty, sincerity, all those are big factors that will make you a great person. Okay, skills, certifications, I can say those are just secondary. The most important aspect is you being a good person. Okay, my professors are very helpful. Like in Sioux College, I can say I have two professors in my project management. Both of them are really awesome. I mean, not so, they're from different, like, Ali is from, I guess, cybersecurity, right? But his experience on projects really helped me a lot. And my second professor as well, I even landed teaching in one of another university, in another college, as a project manager professor as well, because of my second professor. And I was able to learn, okay, these are the required skills for this job, and find more networks.
Yeah. So, Ellen, so but not last, like, what were some of the major challenges you faced in your early days of your career, and how did you overcome them, and how you faced the challenges, and how you kept yourself to be motivated to get the job?
In my first career, I actually started as an actuarial analyst, and then I jumped into programmer, systems analyst, and then project management, right? So as a project management, that's when I learned how to be really professional, because as IT, you're more on talking to computers, right? But as project manager, you now need to learn to talk to people, right? So that's when I started, and that's my biggest challenge before. That's why I keep on saying learn. People skill is very important, right? That's my biggest fear. I don't know how to convince people. I don't know how to oppose on people. Okay, I don't know how to defend my thinking, right? But I gain some trainings on how to do that items. And then when I landed here in Canada, okay, I said 11 years of experience in project management, that's gonna be an easy. But honestly, it was not. Because when I landed here, our clients are public sector, Minister of Finance, Minister of Transportation, and people from public sector are different from my previous client, right? So I don't know how to. I mean, I need to learn their culture, okay, because we are diverse here in Canada, right? Different culture may speak differently. Sometimes I get offended because I felt like they are not being professional. But when I learned their culture, oh, that's how they really talk. So I have to be very unbiased when it comes to expression, languages, how people talk, and just be objective on the project. This is my objective. This is my goal for the project, regardless of how they talk to me, regardless of how they give their requirements, regardless of how we make sure we solve all problems. Okay, the point there is be objective. And again, I think everything still boils down on people skills.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ellen. I'm done with my questions. So now let me ask to everyone here, if you have any questions, so you can ask from Ellen.
Yes,
Okay.
go ahead, please. Anybody?
Okay.
Don't be
Yeah,
shy.
feel free to
That's
ask if.
awesome. So normally whatever that comes in our mind, you try to cover everything. That's so awesome. I'm so thankful for you.
Thank you.
Wow,
Thank you.
you have covered everything.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just want to share one thing. So I know you guys are from cybersecurity and I'm from project management. But I tell you, in all projects that I handle, I said 100% of my project, because I'm on system implementation, 100% of my project, a portion of it is cybersecurity. So when I was starting my career, I have no idea about cybersecurity. Okay, but now I get to learn to talk to people on cybersecurity. Just the basic terminologies like vulnerability, threats, etc. Right? So those items is like a normal language for me now. It's not a foreign thing. But what I want to share is you're in a very very good profession. Okay, knowing that cybersecurity has been part of all projects implementation that I had, it is something that was, I can say, mostly ignored in some professionals, but it's a blocker for us. Once there is one security threat, the project stops, even if it's one minor threat. Okay, if we cannot identify mitigating actions, or make sure that the vulnerability is not there or low, the project stops. Okay, so I learned a lot from cybersecurity. So before, it was just like part of the audit. Oh, you missed the consider cybersecurity. But now at the start, during kickoff, cybersecurity is always part of my slide. So I can say you're in a good profession. Okay, your market is very wide. I tell you, your market is very wide here in Canada. Regardless of what company, whether big company or small company, they always have a security group. So learn and explore. I'm sure in a year or two, you'll be in a very, very good company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Ellen, for sharing your journey and valuable insight. And special thanks for giving your precious time. We really
No
appreciate it.
worries.
Yeah. Your
Thank
story
you
is
so much.
truly inspiring, and I'm sure that it will be guide many students and graduates who are new and navigating their career in their path.
My pleasure. And again, I'm very honored to speak to you, and I hope I'll inspire more people.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
Thank you.
for
Thank you.
You're
taking some
welcome.
time from your busy schedule
No
and
worries.
it was a great having conversation with you, learning a lot from you. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your
Thank
time
you.
as well.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Have a great night. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.